So what we're going to go over today is notes on how to simplify rationals. You guys know how to do this. We're just going to combine a couple of things. We're going to combine reducing fractions. So that's our goal, how to reduce fractions, how to get the greatest common factor, which I'm going to call GCF, and what's called factoring. In order to factor, we learned actually all of these things before. We learned it last semester. We learned it in Algebra 1. And you probably learned how to reduce fractions since you were in elementary school. Okay, so we're going to combine all that information, 1, 2, 3, into reducing rational functions. This is something new for you, something you haven't really seen before. Rational functions, you are familiar with square root, quadratic, exponential, log, natural log. Okay, so we've learned a lot of different functions in this school year. Okay, so factoring, we're going to do what's called a CV table. Your CV table looks like this. You're going to have a value for C, a value for B, and it's coming from the general form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, whatever term is here, that's what's going to be placed there. Okay, whatever is the second term of your quadratic function, which is the b, is going to be placed there. Okay, what you're going to try to figure out is what are the factors of c. So what numbers can I multiply together to get c that add up to c? I mean to b. Okay, so we're doing 1, 2, and 3 steps. Okay, so we're going to start with an easy. Simplify. If I ask you to simplify this fraction, I want you to talk to your partner really quickly and decide what that's going to be. Very good. When you reduce 8/12, it becomes 2/3. Now, how did you go from 8/12 to 2/3?
Divided by 4.
Okay, good. You divided by 4 to the numerator and the denominator. How did you know to divide by 4?
Because
Okay, they have the same common number. They have the number that they can both be divided by. That number is called the greatest common factor. Okay, the GCF. So the way that you do it, you didn't know that you did this, but you did this in your head. You listed the factors of 8. They are 1 times 8, 2 times 4, and that's it, right? What are the factors of 12? Well, 1 times 12, what else? 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. So in your head, without even realizing, your brain went through all the little different multiplication tables. And you decided that 4 was the greatest common factor. So you divided your numerator and your denominator by 4 to get 2/3. Easy? Cool. Okay, so you guys know how to reduce fractions. Step 2. You know how to reduce fractions, you know how to get the greatest common factor. So we're going to factor. If I give you the following terms, x squared minus 4x plus 3, and I ask you to factor, according to our introduction, we're going to use our CB table. Okay, your CB table looks something like this. Okay, do I know what the value of C is according to this general form? Yeah, it's positive 3. Remember, we have ax squared plus bx plus c. The c is the positive 3. So c is equal to 3. And what is b going to be equal to? Yeah, b is going to be equal to a negative 4, not a positive 4. So the question here is, what numbers can I multiply together to get 3? Yeah, that one's pretty simple, right? 1 times 3, and that's it. 3 times 1. If I add 3 plus 1, what do you get? 4. It's not a negative 4. I need a positive. I need a negative 4. It's a positive 4. So what can I do to 1 and 3 so that they still multiply and get 3, but add up times negative 3 gives me negative 3, so I'm going to multiply negative 1 times the negative 3. What is negative 1 times negative 3?
Positive 3.
Yeah, positive 3. Good. And if I add two negative numbers together, they're actually going to be equal to a negative 4. You guys with me? Okay, this is not new, it's just a refresher. So your factors, when I say factor, you should automatically put parentheses. Your factors are going to be x minus 1 and x minus 3. The factors of x squared minus 4x plus 3 is actually x minus 1 times x minus 3. Okay? We're finished at that point when I ask you to factor. The way to check it, if I ask you to distribute or FOIL, you would multiply x times x and x times negative 3. What would x times x be? X squared, good. What's x times a negative 3? Negative 3x. Negative 1 times x is negative 1x, good. And negative 1 times a negative 3 is a positive 3. Negative 3x minus 1x is negative 3 minus 1. If someone owes you $3 and they borrow another $1, they still owe you $4. And that's back to what we started with. Okay, so this is just the check so that you see why this is equal to that. Okay, so if I lost you here, just concentrate on this section. Maybe I should have just taken it one step at a time. So our next example is x squared minus 6x plus 8. We're going to factor this quadratic function. Okay, do I know what the value of A, B, and C are?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so we're going to use C and we're going to use B to get us our CB table. Okay, your CB table, you're going to split the first part into two pieces and figure out what the factors are so that when you add them together, they should be equal to your B value. Okay, in this case, what is the value of C? C is equal to 8. Good. B is equal to negative 6. Good. What are the factors of 8? What numbers can I multiply together to get 8?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Good. 1 times 8. Is that it?
4 and 2.
Okay, it's the same thing, right? 2 times 4, 4 times 2. Order doesn't matter. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's add these together. If I add 2 plus 4, what do you get? 6, but I need a negative 6, so that can't be the right answer. If I add 1 plus 8, what do you get? 9. That's not the right answer. What can I do to my numbers, to my factors, so that I actually add up to negative 6? Negative 2 and negative 4. Yeah, let's make both of these negative. If I multiply negative 2 times a negative 4, what do you get? Positive.
Negative.
Positive. A negative times a negative is a positive 8, which is what we have there. Okay? But if I add negative 2 plus a negative 4, what do you get? A negative 6. So my factors are actually a negative 2 and a negative 4. Anytime you see the word factors, you're going to automatically put your two parentheses. Okay? You're going to put your x and x. You got two x's. You can keep them in separate houses. So that we're crazy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and then negative 2 and negative 4. Okay, so those are your factors. Okay, this is your turn. I want you to work this out with your partner. I want you to factor x squared plus 30x minus 18. I'm going to pause the video, and when we play, I'll show you the answer. Do I know what A is equal to?
Yeah.
It's 1, right? What about B?
3.
3. And C? Negative 18. So now that I know what B and C are, I'm going to plug them into my problem. It's got negative 18 and a positive 3. So I want you to list all the factors of negative 18. What are they?
Negative 9 times negative 2.
Okay, 9 times negative 2, good.
1 times negative
How about this? Negative 9 times 2. Yeah. Okay.
Negative 18 times 1.
Okay, negative 18 times 1, or positive 18 times a negative 1.
And 6 times negative 3.
Good. You guys both have the same one. 6 times a negative 3, or negative 6 times a positive 3. Okay, let's stop there for now, okay? If we don't get it, then we'll keep going. So we're going to multiply together to get negative 18, and I need it to add up to 3. What is 9 minus 2? 7, right? That's not positive 3, so wrong answer. Okay, wrong factors. Negative 9 plus 2?
That's negative 7.
Okay, good. Negative 7. Does that equal to 3? No, wrong answer. Okay. Negative 18 plus 1? Negative 17. Wrong answer. Okay. Time out.
Is that one?
Oh, X. Okay. 18 minus 1 is 17. Wrong answer. Okay. 6 minus 3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. So we have our factors. We can still check the one on the bottom. What is negative 6 plus 3? Negative 3. Okay. So your factors are going to be a positive 6 and a negative 3. X. You always, when you talk about factoring, anytime you see the word factor, I want you to automatically put your parentheses and your X's. Okay, my joke again was to keep your X's in separate homes. Okay, you want to separate them, you don't want them in the same house. Okay, so X plus 6 and X minus 3. Okay guys, go ahead and take a few minutes to look at the 5th example, which is x squared minus 2x minus 35. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to solve that with your group. Those of you watching the video should pause it and then come back. Okay, the first thing we want to do is list the factors. I'm not the factors, the leading coefficient. What's the value of A? 1, negative 2, and negative 35. Make sure you keep the negative sign. Okay, if you don't, then it's going to get messed up. So you have your CB table. Even if you didn't put negative, you just can fix it quickly. Okay, what is C equal to?
Negative 35.
Negative 35. What is B equal to?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. What are the factors of negative 35?
75.
Okay, they're going to be negative 7 and a positive 5, and a positive 7 and a negative 5.
1 times 1 and 35.
Okay, negative 7 plus 5 is equal to? Negative 2. Okay, you got the right answer. What if it was 7 minus 5? You would have gotten the wrong answer, positive 2. Okay, that's not the right factors. The factors for this quadratic function is negative 7 and positive 5. Remember, anytime you see the word factor, automatically what should you do?
X
Parentheses.
minus 5.
Okay, make your 2 x's, keep them in separate houses. Okay, and then you're going to fill in what you got, negative 7 and negative 5. That's very good. Oh, my bad. Good eye. Good eye. Just seeing if you guys are paying attention. All right, last question. Take a moment to factor this with your partner, with your group, or by yourself. Okay, you should be able to get A, B, and C. How many of you guys were able to factor this correctly?
1, negative 12.
Okay, very good. A is 1, B is 1, and C is negative 12. You're going to plug in those numbers into your CB table.
Which is
C
negative 12.
C is equal to negative 12, and B is equal to 1. What are the factors of negative
4,
12?
negative 3.
Negative 3, 4.
Okay, don't tell me. Well, let's just start in order just for the sake of presentation. Negative 12, 1 times 12, 2 times negative 6, 3 times negative 4, and then we go backwards, right?
Negative 3.
Okay, if I add 1 plus a negative 12, what do you get? Negative 11. Right or wrong answer? Wrong answer. Okay. What about 2 minus 6? It's going to be
There you go.
negative 4. Wrong answer. Okay. What's 3 minus 4?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Right answer?
No.
No, I need a positive 1. Okay, we're almost there. So then